1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Thank you.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight.
For decades to come. America's going to have to choose between moving forward.
The Marana area, specifically Cortero and Silver Bell, where we had pretty substantial damage over the last couple of weeks.
Live, local, late breaking. 13 News starts right now.
It's shaping up to be an active storm day. A severe thunderstorm watch is in effect right now for portions of central and southeast Arizona. Strong wind, blowing dust, and heavy rainfall is all possible. We are also tracking another air quality alert in Pima County. Thank you for joining us for 13 News Live at 5. I'm Valerie Cavazos. And that puts us into First Alert Action Day. 13 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen joins us, and the list keeps growing. There's so much going on.
Absolutely. And the root of most of our thunderstorm evils today has been the strong winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, upwards of 70 miles per hour with some of these storms. So here's kind of that laundry list of what we're looking at. We start you to the north. A dust storm warning stretches from Marana all the way through Casa Grande on I-10 and State Route 79. From Oracle Junction all the way to Florence. This through 615. You want to stay off those roads until that expires. We just had our severe thunderstorm warning dropped for this area, but still some very heavy rain with a flood advisory west of State Route 79, and that continues through 7 o'clock. These storms have also produced large hail in excess of 1 inch in diameter. That just to the north of the Pima-Pinal County line and also over the Tucson Metro. So if you're not hearing thunder, move your car into the garage or carport to prevent any sort of hail damage. As these storms here shift to the southwest about 10 to 15 miles per hour, expect them. The line of heavy rain arriving the Marana area 5:54. The showers have certainly started to weaken here across the Tucson Metro, but our flood advisory does march on. You want to avoid this area that you see kind of flanked by Sunrise to the north, almost I-10 to the west, Indian Ridge Estates to the east, and Polo Village to the south. Central Pima County under a flash flood warning through 7:15. This is for some of the villages on the Tohono O'odham Nation. Severe thunderstorm warning now that covers the Lukeville area and State Route 85 as it heads to Mexico through about 5:30. And because the wind is so strong today, I advise if those storms are moving toward you, you seek shelter. Interior room of your home without any windows. Perhaps that's a laundry room, a closet, or a bathroom, and just wait things out. We also have a severe thunderstorm watch. I'll tell you how long that lasts and what it means coming up.
All right, see you in a bit. And as Aaron has been telling us, it's been an active monsoon so far with storms causing damage all over the Tucson area. And as we're continuing to see, these storms are not slowing down anytime soon. 13 News reporter John Macaluso is live in Marana. Now that area saw a lot of storm damage a couple of weeks ago. So John, companies that help here in southern Arizona have been busy for weeks and they're expecting to remain so.
Hey Val, yeah, that's right. I talked to Custom Restoration, and they tell me that they've been getting hundreds of calls over the last couple of weeks since we started getting these big monsoon storms here in southern Arizona. Now, they tell me most of the damage they've responded to has been primarily caused by the wind. Now, this includes damage to rooftops and even down trees. Now, right now, they're responding to calls all over the Tucson area, and despite the amount they've been getting, they can respond within an hour, but the response is still really dependent on the damage.
For emergencies, we're going to get there as quick as possible, at least mitigate any type of damage that we can right now so you don't have further damage. So get those roof tarps up, help prevent any water that's coming in, and then get you on the schedule moving forward.
Yeah, and Custom Restoration tells me every year they expect monsoon to be unpredictable and have much of their team on call ready to respond to emergencies in any notice. Now, in extreme cases, they can have people come in from Phoenix to help out. Now, ahead of more storms, they recommend you take a look at your insurance policy and make sure everything is in order. And then, of course, you're going to want to make sure that you know exactly who to reach out to with your insurance company, just in case something were to happen. Now, taking a look outside right here, we've got plenty of cloud coverage, got a little bit of a drizzle earlier, and we're hearing a little bit of thunder. And because of that, we're just going to go right back to you here, Val. Reporting in Marana, John Macaluso, 13 News.
All right, John, thank you. Just in, the Arizona Democratic Party Executive Board has formally induced Senator Mark Kelly as Kamala Harris's vice presidential nominee. Chairwoman Yolanda Bejarano sent out a statement. It says in part, Senator Kelly is exactly the type of leader Arizonans want and America needs. The path to the White House runs through Arizona, and we are confident that with Kamala Harris and Mark Kelly at the top of the ticket, Democrats will win in November. And when asked whether he would accept the VP nomination earlier today, Kelly said, quote, "This is not about me. This is about the future of the country," end quote. And we will continue to follow the latest on this developing news, including Kelly's response to the endorsement as it comes into our newsroom. We go to Capitol Hill now. Israel's prime minister delivered a fiery speech today to Congress. The 52-minute speech intended to shore up U.S. support for the ongoing war in Gaza. Benjamin Netanyahu framed the conflict as one between good and evil. The war started when Hamas militants entered Israel in October and killed 1,200 people and took more than 250 hostages. Netanyahu evoked America's critical support of Great Britain during World War II, telling Congress that Israel and the United States meet at a similar crossroads of history.
In World War II, as Britain fought on the front lines of civilization, Winston Churchill appealed to Americans with these famous words: "Give us the tools and we'll finish the job." Today, as Israel fights on the front line of civilization, I too appeal to America. Give us the tools faster and we'll finish the job faster.
Netanyahu wants the conflict to end with full Israeli control over Gaza. His visit was met with protest in Washington, D.C. 5 people had to be removed from the House galley and were arrested for disrupting the speech. Dozens of people also gathered at the nearby Union Station to protest the Israeli leader, including burning a papier-mâché puppet bearing his likeness. Also appearing before Congress today, FBI Director Christopher Wray. He briefed a House Judiciary Committee on former President Trump's would-be assassin, as well as an Iranian plot to assassinate Trump. Wray revealed the shooter, Thomas Crooks, flew a drone in the area just 2 hours before Trump took the stage at the rally this month. He said Crooks had 2 explosives in his car and 1 in his home, and that he probably didn't have the ability to detonate them from the roof where he was killed. The FBI is investigating the shooting as both an attempted assassination and a potential act of domestic terrorism. Wray also gave some details about an Iranian plot to kill Trump and warned that we might see increased activity from the country.
We are increasingly concerned about the possibility not just of a foreign terrorist-inspired attack, which is very much a concern, but even the potential for a coordinated foreign terrorist attack, perhaps like what we've seen against the concert hall in Russia, for example, but just here in the United States.
FBI officials believe Crooks acted alone and used a rifle that was legally owned by his father and later purchased from him. Investigators say Crooks fired roughly 8 times from an AR-style rifle at Trump before being killed by a Secret Service counter sniper. A wipeout on Wall Street today. Stocks had their worst day since 2022 after major fall-offs by tech giants Tesla and Alphabet, which owns Google. Tech has been struggling since cooling inflation led investors to believe the Federal Reserve will lower interest rates in September, and there's still some grumbling after the CrowdStrike global outage. Taking a look at the numbers, the Dow tumbled 504 points, the S&P 500 lost 128, and a drop of 654 points for the tech-heavy NASDAQ. A man is behind bars charged with murder for a deadly crash that shut down a major intersection on the south side yesterday afternoon. The multi-car crash happened around noon on Keno Parkway, just north of 36th Street. Tucson police say the driver, Leonardo Cruz, drove into oncoming traffic, crashing into two cars. The driver of one of the cars hit died at the scene. She's identified as 49-year-old Thadevan Philavan. A third driver and passenger suffered serious injuries. Cruz had minor injuries. Now, police say the 22-year-old was impaired at the time of the crash. He's being charged with second-degree murder, aggravated assault, and felony criminal damage. He was booked into the Pima County Jail on a $150,000 bond. Two men are behind bars for a deadly shooting on the south side back in March. A 31-year-old Juan Verdugo and 22-year-old Raul Gomez face first-degree murder charges. They're accused of killing 22-year-old Denise Sanchez. Tucson police say the two tried to rob a man who was with Sanchez and her boyfriend while they sat in a car near Benson Highway and Country Club. Shots were fired, hitting Sanchez and her boyfriend. He survived, but Sanchez's body was later found in a car miles away near Silver Lake and Mission. Police say another man coordinated the robbery, 36-year-old Jose Contreras. He died in May of an apparent drug overdose. Tucson police are still trying to identify the third man in the car with Sanchez and her boyfriend. Anyone with information is asked to call 88 Crime, and you can remain anonymous. A man wanted for an assault on the east side is now wanted for homicide. Tucson police say the victim, 65-year-old Brian Thibodeau, died in the hospital 2 days ago. Tucson police tell us Thibodeau was found in a parking lot in the early morning of July 12th. Detectives learned he was assaulted by an unknown man and then ran off before police arrived. Anyone with information is asked to call 88 Crime. In Arizona, wildfires. Police have arrested a man they say started the devastating watch fire in eastern Arizona. 22-year-old Keanu Dude has been charged with arson. Authorities say this is not his first run-in with law enforcement. The watch fire burned more than 2,000 acres on the San Carlos Apache Indian Reservation. It forced hundreds to evacuate from tribal lands and left dozens of people homeless. We also received our final update on the Romero fire in Pinal County. It burned a couple hundred more acres since yesterday and is now 70% contained. Now, so far, it's scorched 7,000 acres. It started about 13 miles southwest of the small town of Kearney. The Circle Fire is still burning nearby. It reached nearly 3,000 acres. This one is 35% contained. Crews will continue to patrol the fire and conduct mop-up operations until the fire reaches full containment. All right, we can use more rain in those areas and across southern Arizona as well. 13 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen is back and tell us more about what's happening out there.
Hey, give our monsoon some credit today, Valerie. It's trying to bring us quite a bit of rain, and some areas have had so much that we've had some flood advisories. But a real big concern with the storms that do materialize today, those strong winds, so much so that the National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm watch. This is kind of a broad brush view of the areas where those storms are likely to turn severe. We don't see these altogether that often, and it covers all of Pima, Santa Cruz, Pinal, and Graham counties. Greenlee, Cochise, you're not included in this, but this continues all the way through 9 o'clock tonight. And a watch simply means conditions are likely for severe weather, so you want to be prepared to take action. When you see those severe thunderstorm warnings, that means seek shelter immediately because those storms have already turned severe. Our First Alert Future radar in motion shows some more activity here through the Tucson Metro, eastern Pima County through 7 o'clock. South central Pima County still getting hit hard through 7. By 8 o'clock, we see a couple of storms merging here and shifting into the Tohono O'odham Nation. So places like Santa Rosa down through Sells, even into the 3 Points area. You've seen some pretty heavy rain already today. I would expect another round at least through 9 p.m. Starts to taper off and wane right around 11 o'clock as it heads off to the west-southwest through south central Pima County. The severe thunderstorm risk is at its highest under this yellow level here. That's like a 2 out of 5. So that's elevated, and that does line up with where Storm Prediction Center has us under a 15% chance that those winds with our storms will be severe. Now that's defined as 58 miles per hour or stronger, but we've already had a couple of areas that have clocked winds closer to 70 miles per hour, even in the Tucson Metro at 68 mile per hour winds. We also have a blowing dust advisory until 6:15. This is I-10 at the Arizona-New Mexico border, and that line of some of that dust is headed off to the southwest. We're talking 40, 45 mile per hour winds with that blowing dust, just to keep you updated there. Our estimated times of arrival, or those concern times here with that severe wind risk, all the way through 7 o'clock for eastern Pima County and through 10 o'clock as those storms head off to the southwest, central and western Pima County, as well as western Santa Cruz. Now, here's a look at that chance for rain at a glance for the Tucson area specifically through 9 o'clock, 50%. Then it tapers off to 30 by 11. Tomorrow, we'll start to see that chance for rain ramping up, but not until after 2 p.m. at 50% chance from 4 through 6. And our overall chance for showers and storms here tomorrow, 60% in Tucson as well as Benson, 50 for Green Valley, 60 Sassabee and Nogales, as well as Sierra Vista. So you want to continue to stay weather aware, as this rim storm setup is what will continue to bring us some of that strong outflow winds with that cold air moving in over warm air and that evaporating rain. Our TEP Clean Energy Report, 125,000 homes powered by the sun and the wind today. There's that 7-day forecast for you. Triple-digit heat stays with us. That chance for storms strong all the way through Friday night.
All right, thank you, Erin, and thank you for joining us on 13 Plus and KOLD.com. Join us for more news and local weather with 13 News on Fox 11 at 5.